you think automakers are being honest with EV owners? No, if they were honest with their cars, then EV owners wouldn't be living a life of hell. The expected smooth and silent driving and eco-friendly way of traveling were all gimmicks. From charging to maintenance, EV owners are dealing with many challenges. The first issue with EVs is that EV makers are unable to maintain quality. It was expected that EVs would be more reliable because they have fewer moving parts. But the result is quite the opposite. From software glitches to high maintenance costs, EVs pose a headache for their owners. As the technology behind EVs is still developing, there aren't an adequate number of qualified repair persons and workshops that can repair your EV. When there is a lack of professionals, fixing an EV may cost you an arm and a leg. Also, the average repair cost of an EV in the US is $6,587, compared to $4,215 for other vehicles. This makes EVs unaffordable to the average US family, and repairing them takes months. In addition, another report said that a man was unable to drive his EV because of complaints about the engine due to the cold weather. Imagine you live in a cold climate or a cyclone-prone area and you don't have access to the power grid and run out of batteries. What are you gonna do? Unless you have a combustion engine vehicle, you can get in trouble in such a situation. The findings of a recent McKinsey & Co. poll are fairly startling. Of the 30,000 people who are regularly participating in the study, 29% of EV owners worldwide plan to return to driving a car with an internal combustion engine. The situation was worse in the US, where 46% of McKinsey respondents said they would definitely return to ICEs. Consumer reports state that problems with the battery and charging systems, as well as mismatches between the body panels and interior parts, were the most frequent complaints of EV owners. Consumer reports noted that many buyers would likely pause before adopting the new tech, since ongoing concerns about reliability will likely be taken into consideration, as the high costs, a shortage of charging stations, and extended charging periods. According to a recent survey, almost half of Americans say they are unlikely to buy an EV as their next vehicle due to the high price and shortage of charging location. The big headache for EV owners is the lack of charging infrastructure. EV owners are concerned about the lack of charging stations, long lineups, malfunctioning chargers, and other common issues in Southern California's EV charging stations are troubling the EV owners community. This is not just the case for Southern California, but also for many parts of the US. In comparison to the auto industry's general inventory of 71 days, car dealerships nationwide report that as of the end of November 2023, they had a 114-day supply of new EVs. In the past, the auto industry thought that a 60-day supply was ideal. The National Automobile Dealer Association reports that yearly sales of electric vehicles in the US surpassed 1 million in November, representing a 50.7% year-over-year increase in comparison to 2022. The problems with EVs are making people switch to ICE cars or hybrids. Another concern with EVs is their eco-friendly footprint. Are EVs really clean and carbon neutral, and will they contribute to our climate goals? The Biden administration's vigorous efforts to increase EV sales and move the nation toward renewable energy in an effort to reduce emissions and slow down climate change. The White House has set a target that by 2030, up to half of all new car sales will be electric. Right now, around 30% of the electricity in the US comes from coal. In China, that number jumps to 2/3. Even the Netherlands, with its iconic windmills, generates 29% of electricity from coal. Globally, roughly 37% of the world's electricity comes from power plants that burn coal. It should be understood by now that electric cars are only